I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good day, Jaime Ross. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful day?
Oh, I'm doing really well. It's starting to get a little cool here down in South Haven, Mississippi, but we'll just layer up.
Well, my friend, I do have that draft email saved with Caribbean Sunshine, so if you do need me to send that, I can always send that your way for you, yeah?
I may need that, especially in January.
Oh, Jimmy, tell us which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time.
Well, I just launched a podcast with a friend of mine. We have a new podcast called Outsourced Insider Podcast, where we are focusing on new entrepreneurs and helping them navigate the waters to become successful business owners.
All right. So who did you learn the skills of podcasting from?
Well, I don't know that I learned the skills from anybody. We are just kind of learning as we go, and we've launched about 5 podcasts so far. We have 5 episodes, and I think they're getting better with time. It's very interview style, very conversational, and now we're getting into starting to bring guest speakers on.
How fun is that? How has those 5 episodes impacted your life?
My friend which is Laura, that's my co-host. She and I both started our own businesses this year. We both were corporate employees that, or for one reason or another, found ourselves out of a job, and we just both decided, you know what, we have skills, we have talents, we know what we need to do. So we both individually, she's in Texas, I'm in Mississippi, started our own businesses, and then we got together and said, you know what, we know what to do. Let's help other entrepreneurs. And so through these episodes of creating these first 4 or 5 episodes, we've had to really practice what we preached. We've utilized the things that we both went through over the last year of putting these businesses in place and launching them. So I think it's been good because it's helped us to really practice what we preach. I spent 20 years in corporate America helping business owners as a consultant, helping them be successful. So now it's, I'm kind of eating my own words and doing what I told people to do for the last 20 years.
Well done. I'm glad that you stepped out there.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Why will you continue to repeat this skill? I'm guessing you've seen how challenging it can be.
Yes. Podcasting is fun, but it's also a challenge because, we're fitting it in as new entrepreneurs. We're both, new businesses. And so, and with her being in Texas and me being in Mississippi, it's not like we're just, sitting down in a room together and putting this podcast together. So it's taking a lot of planning and, just getting it together. And when we start to bring guest speakers on, coordinating it with them. Also, we're starting to have connections with our listeners. So they're starting to engage with us and ask us questions. So we're starting to incorporate their questions, desires, needs into the podcast. So it just takes a lot of planning.
It does, definitely does. I'm glad that you're being tested on your outsourced capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you'll be good, right? This is just part of the journey, right?
Oh yes, I think I get excited when I have a chance to talk to people and to share with people about what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about being just out there and innovative and thinking outside the box and making a difference. And I also get excited by exciting other people. So when I can get people kind of amped up and like, oh, wow, empower other people so that they know that they have a chance, that they can be successful, that they can do what they want to do, it just makes me strive to do what I'm doing even more.
But tell me, Jimmy, one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
What I've done consistently over the last 3 years is I've never given up, and I had a lot of hustle. And so I think that's what's got me to where I am right now is there's no opportunity for failure with me. I do not have a backup plan. That's one thing I've said on one of our episodes is that failure is not an option for me. I'd never made a plan B. So my plan A is going to work. I'm going to be successful. I have been successful. So the things that I've done over the last 3 years is just, hone in on my skills and create that drive within myself to be successful.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, it's super. I'm just pumped up. I get really excited about it. I love the impact I'm having on my kids' lives. I have a 22-year-old son who's now going into business for himself. So it's exciting to see him, without really starting his adult life, not really going into a career, just immediately starting his own business. And I think I've rubbed off on him, and I've kind of set that example. And then my daughter, she's 12, almost 13, and she already talks about, well, when I get older, when I go into business, I'm going to be doing this, or, Mom, I'm going to help you with your business and things like that. So I think I'm making an impact on our next generation.
I love it. Well, amazing audience, you're hearing it live here from Jaime Ross. Again, she is the co-host of the Outsourced Insiders podcast. Do check that out. Jaime, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Jaime, what is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory? My gosh. I think it would probably be around Christmas, hanging out with family, and I had a lot of cousins, and we used to get together at the holidays, and so that's probably my earliest memory.
Why do you think this memory is so clear?
I don't know. I guess family was really important, and we used to spend a lot of time with the cousins and the grandparents, and so that was something that we did all the time. We were always there.
How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
Family's really important to me. Was always important as a child, and it's really important now. I try to create those same memories that I had growing up with this next generation that's coming up. So always I host all of our family get-togethers at our house. I host, I always want to make sure that everybody's home for Christmas, has a great Thanksgiving meal, things like that. So I think I've brought the traditions that my grandparents had, and now I'm the host, so I'm really enjoying that.
And if we fast forwarded to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
My favorite song? Oh my goodness, it had to have been something off of Dirty Dancing, because I think that's about when the movie came out.
All right. Well, my friend, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form, so it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Jaime?
I'm ready.
Jaime, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
My children.
Are you married?
I am.
Do you have children? Well, yes, 2, right? 17 and 13. Sorry, 22 and 13.
Yes.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yes.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Probably more than 8.
If you, Jaime, had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Jaime Ross, what would you say that is?
Never stop hustling.
Love it. Jaime, this has been a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
No, not today.
Love it. Jaime, thank you, my friend, for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.